Breaking news on Dolphins Today, and the Fins have made a trade. Because what did we talk about yesterday on Dolphins Today? That perhaps the Dolphins may be making some moves before that NFL trade deadline. And look, we said it might be a blockbuster deal, it might not. But given this roster, it's a win now mentality, and Chris Grier pulled the trigger today. Several NFL insiders, including Ian Rapoport and Dianna Russini of The Athletic, confirming the details that the Dolphins have made a trade for former Bears wide receiver Chase Claypool. And look, it's not necessarily a blockbuster deal, like I said. It's no secret that Chase Claypool was disgruntled in Chicago. But here are the details. The Dolphins will also actually receive a 7th round pick in 2025, and all they gave to the Bears was their 2025 6th round pick. So big name in Chase Claypool because he's been in a lot of headlines for all the wrong reasons, but it's not necessarily something where the Dolphins were mortgaging their future. Look, they gave up a 6th round pick in 2025, and they even receive a 7th round pick in 2025. So as far as the draft capital, yes, you move back one round in the 2025 draft and you pick up Chase Claypool. Look, it's a flyer move, and for Chase Claypool, I really think this is his last chance to try to salvage his career that began with such a promising start. I mean, this is a guy who in his rookie year coming out of Notre Dame was drafted by the Pittsburgh Steelers. He had 9 touchdowns in his rookie year, but the production has just plummeted ever since. And I mean, year by year, it's gotten worse and worse and worse to the point where the Bears were telling him, hey, don't even show up to practice anymore. You are a distraction to the team. Don't even show up to Hallis Hall anymore. In fact, he was a healthy scratch in last night's Thursday night game. Obviously, the pending trade talks that they were obviously engaged in had a lot to do with that. But point being, I don't think Dolphins fans need to, sound the alarms. This is a huge trade. But at the same time, hey, let's take a flyer on this guy who at one time in the National Football League, albeit several years ago and now 2 teams ago for Chase Claypool, he was a matchup problem, but I am a little bit concerned where this might be a disruption to the Dolphins locker room. And I need you to weigh in on this as well. Type in the comments how you would grade this trade the Dolphins made in bringing in former Bears wide receiver Chase Claypool. So A, B, C, or D, let me know, because again, here are the details. It's nothing monumental. All the Dolphins did was send a 6th round 2025 draft pick to Chicago in exchange for a 7th round 2025 draft pick from the Bears, and of course, Chase Claypool. So draft picks are neutral other than you move back one round and you pick up Chase Claypool. So grade the trade for me, A, B, C, or D, or F. And again, yesterday we talked about this on Dolphins Today, that with the River Craycraft injury, the Eric Ezukama being out of the lineup, there could be a chance that the Dolphins make a move for a wide receiver. Now, they didn't go get Devontae Adams like we proposed on the show yesterday, or Hunter Renfrow, but they got a guy that's not going to take any targets away from Tyreek Hill or Jalen Waddle. I think the core of this offense remains intact. It's just taking a flyer on a guy that perhaps could help you and add some excitement, add some explosive plays to already the NFL's top scoring offense. We know they're they're number 1 in passing yards as well, and this just gives Tua Tagovailoa one more weapon and Mike McDaniel one more weapon to use at his disposal. So I think it's I don't want to say it's a nothing burger. Let's go with C. Again, the only thing that concerns me where it's not a B or an A type of trade is the fact that Chase Claypool has shown wherever he is that he can be controversial, is kind of a strong word, but he wore out his welcome in Pittsburgh, obviously wore out his welcome in Chicago, and I think the Dolphins have a really good thing going, and I would hate for a guy with a big ego to come in and disrupt that offense that is already gelling in so many components. They're gelling in terms of the ability for Tua to get the ball down the field and who he's working with. They've got a great thing going. Mike McDaniel has shown that his offense is spectacular. And I know it was the Denver Broncos, but when you score 70 points in an NFL game, you obviously feel good about the offense. But that said, I see why this move was made, because it's really a no-risk type of move other than the chemistry factor in terms of the draft capital. You didn't mortgage the future or anything like that. You just took a flyer on a guy. So let me know what you think in the comments. I'm still processing it a little bit because obviously this just went final less than an hour ago and it was just confirmed. But we said, hey, maybe the Dolphins make a move for the wide receiver room with River Craycraft being injured and, take a flyer on a guy. They happen to take a flyer on Chase Claypool. So that's why you subscribe, because yesterday we had the position right. We just didn't have the exact target yet. But we're all over it here on Dolphins Today. That's why you subscribe to the channel. And hey, we got a great watch party coming up on Sunday as the Dolphins get set to host the Giants, which I said it in the preview. This is the largest spread of the week of the National Football League, and it's already gone up. The Dolphins are now 12-point favorites against the lowly Giants, who have the worst scoring offense in the NFL and one of the worst defenses in the NFL. So I'm looking forward to some fireworks on Sunday. I want you to join me for our watch party. We're doing an hour pregame show. That's right. It's going to be an hour-long pregame show. So we're going to get loud early and often. We're going to have some fun. Like I said on a couple of the shows earlier this week, I'm not overly confident, but I'm pretty confident that this Dolphins team bounces back in a big way. So again, the news of the day, the Dolphins have made a deal for Chase Claypool, former Bears wide receiver, originally was drafted by the Pittsburgh Steelers out of Notre Dame. Look, he burst onto the scene as a rookie, made quite the impactful appearance in Pittsburgh his first couple of years, but then just started to wear out his welcome. And then the trade in Chicago just really never worked out. He's played in 3 of the Bears' first 4 games. He was a healthy scratch for Thursday Night Football because Chicago was done with him. There was a little bit of controversy with him last week when the Bears just said, hey, don't even show up to the practice facility anymore. That's how much we're done with him. But fresh start in Miami. You add him with a strong culture like the Dolphins have. Obviously, a guy like Tyreek Hill, a guy like Jalen Waddle are 2 proven wide receivers in the National Football League. You can make the case that Tyreek Hill is the best wide receiver in the National Football League. So let's hope they welcome Chase Claypool in. He gets in a new set of circumstances, a new environment, and that fresh start helps him rejuvenate his career because he's in desperate need of that. And again, you didn't really give up a whole heck of a lot because in return, you got the Bears' 7th round 2025 pick, and you only gave up the Dolphins' 2025 6th round pick. So all in all, I give it a C. What do you give it? I'm excited. A new player for the Miami Dolphins who at times has shown he can catch some touchdowns in the National Football League and be an impactful player, but it's not a blockbuster change the game plan. We got Chase Claypool. No, it's a move that was made that can help add some depth to the wide receiver room, and hopefully a fresh start for Chase Claypool can help him rejuvenate his career. So Dolphins Today watch party coming up Sunday. We'll be on the air at noon Central Time, or noon Eastern Time, 11 o'clock Central Time. Get you ready for kickoff. In fact, the Dolphins are the highest favorite of the National Football League this week. Looking forward to them kicking some Giants ass on Sunday. Want you to be a part of it. Subscribe to Dolphins Today for breaking news, because when breaking news happens, we got you covered all the way, no matter what. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Shout out to my producer. Love you guys. Dolphins Today. See ya.